Hello students, myself Virendra Kumar Maurya, Associate Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, School of Engineering, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. I welcome all of you in this video lecture. Please see this lecture thoroughly from beginning to end. I have covered so many important topics in this video. Now please see the board. Students, a very good morning. Today my topic is essential components of electrical measuring instruments. Essential components are deflecting torque, controlling torque and damping torque. Before these talks, see the classification of instruments. Now the classification. There is two classification. One is absolute instruments and the second one is secondary instruments. Now see the definition of the absolute instrument, which give the value of quantity to be measured in terms of constant, like tangent galvanometer. In the case of the secondary, which give the value of quantity to be measured by the deflection, like ammeter and voltmeter. And secondary instruments further categorized in three categories: indicating type, integrating type and recording type. See the first one, that is indicating type instrument. Those instruments which directly indicate the value of electrical quantity at the time when it is being measured is called indicating type instrument, like voltmeter, ammeter, wattmeter, etc. Second one is the integrating type instrument. Those instruments which measure the total quantity of electricity in a given period are called integrating type instrument, like ampere hour meter, watt hour meter, etc. And the third one is the recording type instrument. These instruments which give a continuous record of the variation of electrical quantity to be measured are called recording type instruments, like recording ampere, recording voltmeter, etc. Now, indicating type instrument. In the case of indicating type instrument, there are three torques are required. This is our topic, different types of torque, right? Three torques are required. Number one is deflecting torque, which is nothing but operating torque. Second one is controlling torque, and it is also known as restoring torque. And the third one is damping torque. Now see these torques one by one. Number one is deflecting torque. When the instrument is connected in the circuit to measure the given electrical quantity, deflecting or operating torque is produced, by which pointer will move on the calibrated scale. It is one of the essential components required for the indicating type instrument. Right? I have been told you regarding the deflecting torque. I am explaining over here the effect of overswing. Although the current in this wire is 4 ampere, but pointer shows up to 5 ampere. Why it is so? Pointer will move from the 0 position up to the 4 ampere, and due to the inertia it will overswing beyond 4. Why it is so? This is known as the effect of overswing. Due to this torque, that is the deflecting torque, due to this torque, pointer will swing over the maximum deflected position, irrespective of the magnitude of the quantity is to be measured. Although The quantity is 4 ampere, but due to the overswing, its reading is more than 4 ampere. Now the second one is the controlling torque. To avoid such conditions, which condition? Over deflection, overswing, an opposing torque is necessary, known as controlling torque or restoring torque. This is the second essential component for the indicating type instruments. Right? There are two types of controlling torques. One is known as spring control, second is the gravity control. Now see the effect of controlling torque. The current in this wire is 4 ampere. Due to this current, there is a deflecting torque, tau d, in this direction. But the opposing torque is provided with the help of spring control or gravity control. That is controlling torque tau c. Once these two torques are equal, the reading is here. When the value of deflecting torque is equal to the value of controlling torque, the problem of overswing is rectified. Right? Now the reading of this instrument is 4 ampere and 4 ampere is also here. So the problem related to the overswing is rectified. These are the two types. Now I am going to explain one by one. Now the first one, that is spring control. Spring control. First of all, the definition. It is one of the type of controlling torque. Here, controlling torque is provided with the help of spring, as it is clear by its name. See, this one is the spindle. These are the two springs. These springs are known as the control springs, and these springs are tightly attached with the spindle. Now two springs are tightly attached with the spindle, which is provided for the controlling torque. After that, pointer is also attached with the spindle, so that pointer will also move according to the effect of spring. See, tau d is known as the deflecting torque, which depends on the electrical quantity, right, which is to be measured. So tau d is proportional to I. Here another torque which is given by the springs is known as the controlling torque. Tau c is known as the controlling torque, which is provided by the springs. So tau c is proportional to theta. At the steady state, the pointer will come at the rest position when these two torques are equal, tau d and tau c. When these two torques are equal, it means that I is proportional to theta. And it is clear by this equation that deflection is directly proportional to the current and scale is uniform. Now the second one is the gravity control. First of all, the definition. It is another type of controlling torque. Here controlling torque is provided with the help of gravity, as it is clear by its name. See, this one is the spindle, right? It is a horizontal spindle which is free to rotate about its pivoted points. Now pointer is attached with the horizontal spindle. There are two weights known as the balance weight and control weights are also attached with the pointer. There are some important points. Number one, the position of such instrument is always in vertical position. Second, the scale of such instruments is non-uniform. It is crowded over here and spread at the end. Now what is the working of that? Deflecting torque. Once again, it is provided by the electrical quantity which is to be measured. That's why the tau d is proportional to I. But in the case of the controlling torque. It is provided by the gravity, or you say one component of the controlling weight, that is sine component. So controlling torque is proportional to not theta, it is sine theta. That's why at the steady state condition, when the deflecting torque is equal to the controlling torque, it means that I is proportional to sine theta, right? I is proportional to sine theta, and scale of such instruments will be non-uniform. Now see the comparison chart in between spring control and gravity control. First of all, the advantages. In the case of spring control, it is accurate, sensitive and uniform scale. In the case of the gravity, advantages are accurate, sensitive and cheaper. Now the disadvantages. Spring type instruments are costly, but they are cheaper. There is fatigue in the case of spring type, but it is free from the fatigue in the case of gravity type. It is dependent on the temperature. There is no effect of temperature. There is no effect of position of the instrument, but in the case of the gravity control, vertical position is necessary. But what is the disadvantage? There is a non-uniform scale. Now the third component, that is damping torque. First of all, see the definition. If the moving system is acted upon the deflecting and controlling torques alone, right? Listen me very carefully. There is only two torques, deflecting and controlling. Then the pointer, due to the inertia, will oscillate about its final deflected position for quite some time before coming to rest. So it becomes difficult to obtain quick and accurate readings. That's why damping torque is required. What is damping torque? In order to avoid these oscillations of the pointer and to bring it quickly to its final deflected position, a damping torque is provided in the indicating instruments. Now listen about the damping torque. It is self-adjusting torque. This damping torque acts only when the pointer is in motion and it opposes the motion. Damping torque does not act when the pointer is stationary. Now see the characteristics of pointer. Now oscillating characteristics of a pointer. Number one is underdamped. This is the graph in between deflection and time. Here this one is known as the steady state value or steady state deflection. Now first of all, definition. Pointer will oscillate about its final position for some time before coming to rest. This one is the steady state value. Although the steady state value is achieved in minimum time, but pointer will oscillate about its position, about its mean position, and come to rest after a long time. That's why these oscillations are known as the underdamped oscillations. Second one is the overdamped oscillations. Pointer will become slow and it will take time to reach the steady state value. Yes, such type of oscillations are known as the overdamped. Steady state position, this one is achieved by the pointer with a lot of time, so it is known as overdamped. A lot of time is taken by the pointer to reach the steady state value. Now third one is the critically damped or deadbeat oscillations. If the degree of damping is so adjusted to such a value that the pointer comes up to a correct reading quickly without passing it and oscillating. See, this one is the steady state value. This steady state value is achieved by this pointer only in this time, right? That's why it is known as the critically damped. Now all three characteristics in one graph. Now types of damping: air friction damping, fluid friction damping, and eddy current damping. See the first one, air friction damping. In the case of air friction damping, this is the normal arrangement: spindle, springs, pointer, scale, pivoted points, etc. Now see the arrangement of air friction damping. This one is the air chamber, this one is the piston, and the rod of the piston is attached with the spindle. There is a small hole for the flow of air. Now see the air friction damping. According to the motion of this pointer under deflecting torque and controlling torque, smooth motion is provided to this pointer with the help of air friction damping. So pointer will reach up to the steady state position in minimum time without oscillating, without vibrating, right? See, this one is a deflecting torque, controlling torque, but pointer will reach at its steady state position without oscillating and vibrating. Now the next one is the fluid friction damping. In the case of the fluid friction damping, a dense oil is here in this pot. These are the 4 veins attached with the spindle, and pointer is attached with the spindle. Now these veins is inside the oil, right? Due to the high viscosity of this oil, smooth motion is provided to the pointer with the help of dense oil and veins. These are the small holes in the veins in which fluid will pass. Now the next one is the eddy current damping. This one is a simple arrangement of the instrument: pointer, scale, spindle, springs, and pivoted points. Now see the eddy current damping. This one is the aluminum disc with so many holes. This one is spindle. Disc is free to rotate about the spindle and will pass in this gap. This one is the north pole, and at the other side there is south pole of the damping magnet. B is the magnetic field which is produced by the north and south poles of the damping magnet. There are number of holes in the disc. When the disc will rotate, so area is going to change. Due to change in area and continuous magnetic field, it gives to you change in flux, and time is passing on. That's why minus d phi upon dt gives to you E, that is induced EMF. When this EMF is divided by the resistance of this disc, there is a current known as eddy current, and it opposes the motion, right? See the working. B is the magnetic field produced by the damping magnet. Delta A is the change in area due to the several holes present in the aluminum disc. B into A, it gives to you delta phi, that is change in flux. As the time is passing, so minus d phi upon dt is nothing but induced EMF. Once we divide this EMF by the resistance of the disc, there will be a circulating currents known as the eddy currents. These currents are responsible to oppose the motion. So it is known as eddy current damping. Now see the instrument with eddy current damping system. Now see what is the role of damping torque. Number 1, to avoid the effect of inertia. Number 2, to avoid oscillations about steady state value. 3, smooth and gentle motion is provided to the pointer. 4th, pointer will reach to the steady state value in minimum time. And the 5th one is reading should be accurate. All three torques, deflecting torque, controlling torque and damping torque of the instrument has been discussed.